Hello everyone and welcome back to Crypto Atlas. In this video, I'm going to be talking about SafeMoon, what's going on with Doge Coin for the Saturday Night Live event, and the main point, what could potentially happen if partial funds are actually transferred during the sell-off that takes place with Doge Coin, if it takes place, and it gets moved over into SafeMoon. And it's actually pretty dang important, guys, and it's pretty powerful too. So if you guys are new to the channel, do not forget to hit subscribe for more cryptocurrency news and technical analysis. Feel free to check me out on Twitter. I'm at CryptoAtlasYT. Would love to grow some following and community space over there. So guys, feel free to check me out there. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up like button on this video. Helps us out with the YouTube search algorithm and more people can find this video. And click the bell icon if you want to be alerted whenever there's new videos. So let's go ahead and get on into this, right? So going on tonight, as of the time of making this video, it is May 8th, Saturday, is guest starring Elon Musk. And this is actually posted on his Twitter account from yesterday. And of course, he's got the little Doge meme that's going on there. A lot of people are speculating about whether or not the fact that there's going to be Doge mentioned on the actual Saturday Night Live skit, right? Or anything that's going to be pertaining relevant to that. So we're still waiting to see what happens with that, but a lot of people are really trying to push Doge up to $1. What's interesting is that we've seen a little bit of a sell-off take place over the course of the day for Dogecoin. So overall, it did have a high point that pushed all the way up to 76 cents, 3/4 of the way up to that dollar range, right? And once that event takes place with Saturday Night Live, we're pushing really close up to it, we very well could see a strong rally take place, pushing again all the way up towards $1. That is a big objective goal from a lot of people. But at the same time, a lot of people are talking about them trying to sell off. So we might not hit this dollar range. The purpose of this video, though, is to say, hypothetically, if Dogecoin does hit $1 and then it starts selling off, what ranges we could really try and keep an eye on and what those transferring of funds could go and do for SafeMoon, especially if it was only 10%. Again, I said the results that I'm about to share with you are if only 10% of those proceeds had been moved over to that of SafeMoon. So a couple key things that we want to point out for you guys. Dogecoin currently has, as of the time of making this video, it's about 129 billion in circulating supply. Compared to SafeMoon, SafeMoon has way more coins in circulating supply, about 586 trillion, 222 billion. So even if you took off all the trillions, there'd still be more billions of SafeMoon than there is for Dogecoin. One thing that you should understand, though, key note of this, is Dogecoin has an infinite supply, whereas SafeMoon has a limited supply. And over time, Dogecoin is actually continuously producing the coins, hence why it is infinite, whereas SafeMoon is continuously reducing its supply, hence why it is a decreasing supply. Okay? So it's going to be easier over time for something like SafeMoon, in theory and in principle design, to hit $1 at a certain point if there's enough activity taking place than it would be for Dogecoin, because you're constantly having to work against the grain with Dogecoin since more coins are constantly being produced. Make sense? Okay, so if Dogecoin was to hit $1, that would put their market capitalization at $129 billion. Now, could this happen? Yes, it is possible. Why? Well, we can use another comparable metric. If you take a look example for that of Coinbase, or sorry, for that of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is ranked at number 1, and Bitcoin has over $1 trillion, almost $1.1 trillion for its market capitalization. Looking at Ethereum here, you got 456 billion. Then it goes to Binance Coin. That's almost $100 billion for that as well. Dogecoin is right there behind it currently at number 4 with 82 billion. So could it hit this higher number? Could it hit $129 billion? Anything is possible. If it managed to do that, it would move from number 4 to number 3. It would still be about 3.5 times, 4 times-ish, between 3 and 4, right, of that of Ethereum. So there's still a lot of room to grow technically in the space. Is it likely to happen? Well, with the event and all the rallying that's going on, all the people talking about it on social media, yeah, I think it technically is possible. One big hurdle that might end up happening is you got a big sell-off right before it hits $1 because people are expecting a big sell-off. So people might be trying to maximize their gains as much as possible. So it could look like, yeah, it's just about to hit $1 and then it drops. And how much it's going to drop, well, that's kind of debatable, and that's one of the things that I want to touch on. If you take a look at SafeMoon's current value, the current value is right around like 78 getting closer to knocking out that zero, moving to the next range. Market capitalization about $4.5 billion. If the SafeMoon market cap was to equal that of Doge, and Doge was to hit $1, right, that would mean that it's going to be 28.32 times approximately times bigger. So then SafeMoon would actually be worth per token 0.00022, etc. SafeMoon. So you guys can see the reference number that's right there. So essentially we went from 5-digit zeros all the way to only having 3-digit zeros. That's an exponential increase. And that's just to say that, again, if, for example, Bitcoin was to be able to hit that goal, then how would that if Dogecoin was able to hit that goal, how would that translate over to saying if SafeMoon was able to try and do the same sort of community support? So it's about the amount of money that's being involved in the project. If Dogecoin could do it, then SafeMoon could too as well. That's my point, right? And so taking a look at that, there's the price point for that. Now, these next price point ranges that I have to show you guys is actually based off of a Fibonacci sequence that I have for Dogecoin. I love to use the Fibonacci sequence. A lot of traders also like to use this, and I'm using it as a drop-off zone from a $1 range. So because the event is taking place, I'm going to use the bottom position for today's candle is to say like, hey, if that was to just fully retrace all the way back, right? So if this ran all the way up today after the event, up to the $1 zone, and then decided to come back to the very bottom of where we hit today, rock bottom, people entering in, and people are saying like, hey, I'm going to sell off and just break even. So I'm using that as my first stepping stone. That would be about a 41% drop. Okay, and I did the same thing again here. We could see in this yellow circle zone, or this oval, it's not a circle technically, this oval zone, it's a really weird looking oval too, I get it. Anyways, you guys can see that there's a lot of consolidation that took place during this space. So I went ahead and I established for if it dropped all the way down to the Fibonacci sequence on that top position, which would be on the 0.786, and I also did another reference point to 0.618, right? So you got two different ranges that could potentially work for, and both of those instances you can see the percentages by comparison. So when taking a look at this, you could see that if it dropped down to 58 cents, the market capitalization right here would be 70. This is for reference of Doge. It would be $75 billion. So currently, with where we're at, we're a little bit higher than that, right? So we're seeing if it, again, went from $1 and then dropped all the way down to the low for the day at around the 58-cent range. So it would be a 41% drop at that point. And the big takeaway from this, you guys can see everything here, but I'm just going to go ahead and clarify some things. So the big takeaway from this is that the price per SafeMoon would be 0.00001, so 4 zeros, and then the 17. That's what its current that's what its price would be. Excuse me, I'm kind of stuttering here a little bit. I got a lot of numbers I've been working on today, as you guys can see. Its ranking on the coin market cap list would put it all the way up at number 22. So this is basically moving some of the money over, right? So if you said, hey, let me take 10%, if I took 10% of what happened with this drop, right? So it dropped, we're talking about $54 billion worth if it went to this price range. So if you move that money over, it would be $5.439 billion. I'm only taking 10%. Could be more, technically it could be less. But let's just say conservatively, I'm trying to look at it and say, yeah, let's do 10%. So it'd be plus $5.4 billion. That would put total market capitalization at 10.01, right? Right now, it's only $4.5 billion. So this already would double everything that we got going on here. So that's an exponential increase right there. Next level would be if it went to the 37-cent range. Here's where your price point would be. It would be ranked on the market cap list, coin market cap list at number 17. Moving up essentially 5 positions, and the SafeMoon market cap would then be $12.7 billion. And if it went all the way down for Dogecoin from $1 down to 29 cents on that Fibonacci level, we would be losing off of Doge about 70%, right? Because again, it's like a dollar or 100 minus 70, so it's essentially 70% off of that drop there. And that would equate to, this would actually still be ranked at number 17. So the price ranges that you guys can see here, if I scroll on down for number 17, it's still above right here for that of Solana, but it would be a little bit less than that of what Stellar Lumens is, right, aka XLM. So taking a look at some other things that's pretty interesting and I think pretty cool is that from where we're currently at right now, If we went all the way back to the previous all-time high, and this is in reference to pancake swap, just FYI, that'd be a 17.71% gain. So even if people literally just decided to get in at this exact point in time, the potential for growth, it's already been established a resistance level, which is at that previous point, right? So for us to get from where we're at to that level of resistance, you still have the room of growth of 17.71% on whatever your investment is on SafeMoon. So there's a lot of potential growth just in that regard alone. Now, if it manages to break above that and it went to the best case scenario of what happens with the 10% allocation, which again, I feel is being very conservative in this regard, of if Doge went from $1 and just massively crashed, people were doing like a mass exodus, and it went all the way back down to 29 cents, okay? If that happened, and it would be down to this 0.000023 range, that would be a 201% gain. I mean, I have to zoom out like this. We would be breaking through where we're currently at 1, 2, 3 Fibonacci sequence levels and entering into the fourth one, almost breaking above the fifth one. As you guys can see, again, that's 201% increase. Absolutely massive. And whatever you have in here, just imagine 200 times your gains, right? So 200% gains. That's absolutely phenomenal. And so this shows just realistically how much potential growth there is. And also keep in mind, guys, that all the transactional trades, that if you actually had that take place from where we're at right now, leading up to this point, is technically making that gap smaller because you're burning tokens all along that path. So it's not like I have the same amount of circulating coins, right? It's actually going to decrease. So I'm not factoring in for that variable because that variable is very unpredictable in that regards. And I feel like that's a much more complicated equation than something that I'm familiarized with mathematics, just FYI. But as a general baseline, what you can use, which again, this is being the conservative side. The other one would actually give more accurate results, but it would show an expedited version of it. So mine is like a slower progressive. So this is, you know, being less optimistic of the situation. So that's great news. That's really good news. So this is just looking absolutely phenomenal. This thing's got so much potential, guys. Let me know in the comments, though, do you think the Doge Coin is going to manage to pull off going up to $1? Do you think that Dogecoin is going to see a mass sell-off take place after this event? Is it going to be losing a lot of its hype? For the daily, you can see that it's already starting to drop off a bunch. We got about an hour and a half or so left as far as the time goes. For the daily chart candles of showing what the remaining price will be. So technically tomorrow, that could be very well a green candle, and it's technically also still into a Saturday Night Live because we're working off of Eastern Standard Time for that. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Is Dogecoin gonna just keep going up anyways? There's not gonna be this big sell-off. This isn't really gonna be factored in that much. Do you think something else is going to happen? Do you think this is really good results news? Do you think 10% is conservative? Voice whatever your opinion is in the comments down below. I do have referral links to a bunch of stuff if you guys want to get free crypto or stocks in the description. If you're new to the channel, once again, do not forget to hit subscribe. Go check me out on Twitter at CryptoAtlasYT. Drop a follow over there. The thumbs up button definitely helps us out with the YouTube search algorithm, guys. Click the bell icon so that you know whenever we have new video. Feel free to share this video if you think other people would find this interesting. And you guys are awesome. I will see you guys in the next episode.